10 ornaments left. You want one more, two more, you can get them. There'll be no more. So get them today. They won't be bringing them back. The rest of them I'm gonna just sell to other people. So if you want one, get them now. They sold $30. You asked me to get them, I've got them. It doesn't matter. And they're $7. So come get them if you want them before we go. All right, take 5, 6, 7.
So Brooks, can you talk a little bit about the clock?
Sir.
Can you speak a little bit about the clock? What is the clock that's on the ornament?
Oh, back in 1993, I was going through a warehouse to get my parking permit. I saw a huge clock sitting in there, and I asked the guy at the warehouse, "What are you doing there?" He said, "It's for sale." They had a price on it for $200. I should have bought the darn
You should
thing.
have.
How stupid I am. So I go see Zell Miller, and I said, Governor, there's a clock down there that used to sit in the railroad, and they gave it to the stables in the governor's office. Do you care if we repair it? It's in pieces. He said, "No, y'all do it." So I got Bernie and George, there was a lot of us. We got together. How many of you here worked on that? Raise your hand. There were a lot of you in here. We've got that clock. We restored it. Martha, we painted the dial. We were offered $200,000 for it while we were repairing it. People don't realize that. And for somebody there, and I wish I'd have bought the darn thing, you know how it is. But we restored it, we got it running. We've used it in 2 of our national conventions. It's been the centerpiece of 2 of the national conventions. And the state, they make a Christmas ornament every year. And in 2022, they decided to feature the clock. So that's what it is, a Christmas ornament of the clock. They sold for $30. And Patrick, my grandson, happened to notice. He said, "Papa, some of those ornaments they got, they're down there, 5 plus shipping, and which is $7." And so I said, "Let's just order some." So that's what I mentioned. And George is doing an article on that clock, how he restored it, and it'll be in next month's bulletin. And we mentioned that last time, and the club said, "Ooh, we'd like to have some." So that's what it is. Is that good? So that it's a one in a lifetime clock. And like you say, that's one of those times that I should have bought the darn clock, but I didn't.
What happened to the guy who offered $200,000? Where's he at?
Yeah, but
Oh,
the state ain't gonna sell it.
okay.
It sits in the governor's office. And Jay keeps it running. Jay goes down twice a year, regulates and serves it, keeps it running. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
George,
Just a footnote too, we had that clock at the National,
Yeah.
I forget what year it was.
2015.
Yeah.
But one of the people that went to the National from up north had 2 of those clocks. And he said, by the way, the heat indicator that's in there is not correct. And somebody had made one that wasn't right. So he sent us down a Xerox copy of the original one that should have been in there. And so I got one of the guys, I think at Bernie's shop, I'm trying to think who it was, we got a piece of walnut, and it was all originally supposed to be cut all out. And I got one of the guys at Bernie's shop to make a piece of walnut at the correct depth. And I taped it onto the piece of walnut, and then my scroll saw, I cut it out identical to the original. And then sanded it all down and stained it. And then at Bernie's shop, we took a piece of metal brass and cut out the metal part that should have been matched the original, and we took the brass and indexed on it the numbers that were supposed to be on it, and then put it into we took the old one out of the case that was not correct. And it's so now it's exactly the way it should be.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's George, they worked hard. And Martha did the reverse painting on the dial.
right.
It's not, it was the reverse painting on the dial. I mean, it's just, and the mercury, it had mercury in the film. We had to get hazmat we got the government to bring us real mercury. And Bernie got somebody to blow the glass, cylinders that hold the mercury. We put real mercury in it. I mean, that thing was a really piece of love that everybody worked on. You remember that, George? We got the real mercury put in it. And the clock was just really, it sits in the governor's office now. It's in there and it's got the tells about it, and it's, you go by, if you go to the Capitol, look at it, it's really nice. And like I say, we also found, while we were at the National Convention, in the there's another section called the appropriate, used to be the Supreme Court. They had a huge, what kind, George? It was a Waterbury, big clock, about as long as that wall. And I saw it, and it had a Georgia sticker on it. And I said, good grief, where'd the clock come from? He said, I bought it at an auction somewhere, and the state of Georgia was getting they got rid of all the old clock. I went back and told the speaker, Tom Murphy, I said, I found a clock they were restoring the Capitol. I said, we need to get that. He sent a plane to New York, bought that clock for $10,000, brought it back, and George and Pete Different worked on it. George, you remember? And it hangs in the appropriation. Also, this group, for you people that may not know, went to the governor's mansion and they restored, what was it, 14 or 15 George clocks, restored them and had them running, and until the, I messed it up, but we're gonna go back and get them ready. But, I mean, this club has done so much. Is that not, and George and Pete and all, anything else, George?
Well, the other thing about the Howard clock, at first, after it was restored and presented to the governor at the Capitol, it was placed outside the governor's office by the main entrance. And then when the governor found out what it was worth, he had it moved inside the governor's office.
Y'all, it was so funny, we had a ceremony. Ethel, the oldest member of our club there, and the governor said, place it right here in the hall. He's right. We put it there. That night at 11:30, I got a call from the governor. I said, oh gosh. He said, Brooks, is that clock really worth that? I said, yes, sir. And the next day he had it moved into his office. Into he realized what it was worth.
Which governor?
That was Zell Miller. Zell Miller. So this club has really been involved, and I'm proud of what y'all did. And then the state honored this club by making that ornament. That's what that ornament's all about. In 22, they wanted to honor the clock club, so they made a clock ornament. And so that's what that's all about. So now you know the rest of the story.
Well, Mary Dean wrote a book,
Oh, yeah.
and we have the clocks in the book.
That's another thing. This deal had Mary Dean to write a history of the governor's mansion. And y'all don't know, we were shocked. George, you went, I think, and
I
you
did.
went and I went. And who else went? But went to the dinner, they had a big dinner and invited us. And they got a whole section featured the clock club and the clocks and our pictures. And I mean, there with all these governors, we felt important, you know, yeah. But we had that big dinner. So this club has been very special to the state. And as I said, we're proud. We're gonna have to go back and re-get those clocks started. Yes.
Don't forget the other clocks, the Chief Van House and stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Chief Van Houten. This club started off going to all and where's Chris?
Right here,
Chris got us permission. We went to all the different,
Historic
parks,
sites.
and repaired all those clocks, people. You just don't know, this club has really done a lot. Yes, Warren?
Yeah, don't forget about all the
The what?
the county courthouse clocks that are maintained by members
Yes.
of this club that they're getting paid to.
The large support house, we started with the large support house, now this club maintains
We have about 50,000 anywhere other than that.
That's the power clock. People, I'm telling you, this club has really done a lot. I'm proud of this club. They not only come to these meetings, but they have behind the scenes have really given thousands of hours and thousands of dollars to help them preserve clocks and remember. And we still have 3 clocks that we bought at the auction that we're gonna give to the museum in Augusta. We're gonna put one in the Capitol, but again, we're waiting for the right time to be done. Okay, any other questions about that?
What is the right time?
Right down, I'd say, in about a year. No more
Is
serious.
that an approximate?
Sir,
Is that an approximate?
yes, because I wanna find somebody, I tell you, Nathan Dill was, and Sonny Purdue were probably the greatest lovers of the clock I've ever seen. Sonny Purdue and Nathan Dill, and Sandra Dill, his wife, loved the clocks. She had us down there and she recognized the group, and they loved what we were doing, and that's why we got it back. But we love it too, and they really treat us wonderful, so, that's what you wanted, I spoke too much.
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Yes,
Mary Purdue also.
Mary, that's why I say, oh yeah, Mary Purdue, oh Lord, Mary Purdue loved us, and she, I tell you what, she was George's girlfriend, she loved him. And, Mary Purdue, I'm gonna tell y'all something, I went over there one day, it's George and, I guess you went there, I can't remember. We could just go in, they just go in the mansion, and they were getting ready to have breakfast, and I know, and these guys just invited to go and have breakfast, they eat breakfast with them. They were part of the staff, they loved it, they were part of that, but Mary Purdue and, Sandra Dill, good people. All right, anything else?
Mary Dean, invited George and I to sit down with her girlfriends. And had lunch.
I know I tell y'all will call me Casanovas of the mansion, I love that. They could sit on the antique couch if they don't go anywhere to dine. And they even took me up to the living quarters, they were really good, but they really did, we appreciate it, and let's give those two, they've done a good job.